On June 27th, the morning was bright and warm, just like a perfect summer day. Flowers were everywhere, looking beautiful, and the grass was very green. At 10 in the morning, the villagers started to meet in the central square, near the post office and the bank. They stood in small groups and spoke softly. Mr. Summers, a friendly man with a round face, was in charge of the lottery. He also organized dances, a club for teenagers, and Halloween events. He had plenty of time and liked to help the town. Mr. Summers owned the coal business. Even though he was well-liked, people felt bad for him because he had no kids and his wife often complained. People in the village did not want to change any traditions, not even the black box used for the lottery. There was a tale that parts of the old box were used to make the current one when the first settlers made this place their home. Every year, Mr. Summers talked about making a new box after the lottery. But every time, people forgot about it, and nothing happened. The black box looked older and more worn out every year. Now it was not all black anymore. One side was cracked, showing the wood underneath, and some parts were faded or stained. On the lottery morning, the children came together first. School had just ended for the summer, and they were not used to being so free yet. At first, they gathered and talked quietly. Soon, they started playing loudly. They still talked about school, their teacher, books, and being told off. Bobby Martin filled his pockets with stones first, and other boys did the same, choosing smooth and round stones. Bobby, Harry Jones, and Dickie Delacroix, the villagers called him Delacroix, made a big pile of stones in the square's corner. They watched it carefully to keep it safe from other boys. The girls talked to each other, sometimes watching the boys. The very young children played in the dust or held on to their older brothers or sisters. Then the men came, watching their children. They talked about farming, rain, tractors, and taxes. They stood away from the stones, making quiet jokes and smiling instead of laughing. After the men, the women arrived, wearing old dresses and sweaters. They said hello to each other and shared small news stories as they went to stand with their husbands. The lottery happened the same way every year, to make sure it was fair. Mr. Summers, the man without children and with a complaining wife, led the event. He took his job very seriously. Mr. Summers did his job well. He was officially in charge, confirmed by the postmaster. Long ago, there used to be a special chant for the lottery. The person leading the lottery would recite it every year. Some thought he should stand in a certain way. Others believed he should walk among the people. But this tradition had been forgotten many years ago. There used to be a special greeting that the lottery leader would say to each person who came up to draw from the box. But over time, this changed. Now, the leader only needed to speak to each person coming forward. Mr. Summers was very good at talking to everyone who came up to take a paper from the box. He knew everyone in town very well. He was both friendly and serious when he spoke to them. The night before the lottery, Mr. Summers and Mr. Graves prepared the slips of paper and put them into the box. Then they locked the box in the safe at Mr. Summers' coal company until the next morning. During the rest of the year, the box was stored in different places. One year, it was in Mr. Graves' barn, another year in the post office, and sometimes on a shelf in the Martin grocery store. The villagers stood back, leaving space around the stool. When Mr. Summers asked for help, there was a moment of silence. Then, Mr. Martin and his oldest son, Baxter, stepped up to help keep the box steady on the stool, while Mr. Summers mixed the papers inside. During the lottery, the head of each family took a piece of paper from the box. Everyone was silent. It was an important time. They all waited to see who would pick the paper with the black spot. Bill Hutchinson picked the paper with the black dot. His wife, Tessie, said it wasn't fair because Bill was rushed, but people told her to be quiet. The choice was made. Next, they decided Bill's family should draw papers to see who in the family would be picked. Tessie kept saying it wasn't fair. She became more and more worried. In the second round, Tessie picked the paper with the black dot. She protested loudly, but nobody listened. The villagers were following their tradition, like always. The villagers, even Tessie's family, started grabbing stones and coming towards her. Tessie kept saying it wasn't fair, but everyone started coming closer to her with stones ready. As people started throwing stones, even those Tessie knew, the kindness everyone showed before disappeared. The stones stopped. Silence returned to the square. The lottery was over. After the reflection, stay tuned for the vocabulary words used in the story, with their simple meanings. This story makes us think deeply about the customs we follow. Why do we follow them? Are they always good for us? It's important to think carefully and not just do things because others expect us to. Sometimes, what everyone does can hurt individuals. Let's talk about this together. In my own life, I felt pressure to follow the same education path as everyone else. I chose a career through society's pressure instead of following my true passion for creativity and writing, which I'm exploring now through this channel. When I worked in an office, I put work before my health and family to show I was dedicated, but looking back, it wasn't worth it. What about you? Have you ever followed traditions or what society expects without thinking, or even if they don't make sense to you? Have you seen unfair things done because of tradition? Is there anything you'd like to change? Let's share our thoughts in the comments below. Vocabulary. Words with meanings. After learning these new words, read the story again. Try saying the words out loud as you read. This will help you remember them better. Villagers. People who live in a small place called a village. Example. The villagers in a nearby village help each other like a big family. Central Square. The main open space in the middle of a village where people meet. Example. In many villages, the central square is where markets are held every week. Organized, planned, or arranged something. Example. She organized a small party for her friend's birthday. Complained. Said that something is wrong or not good. Example. He complained about the cold weather, wishing it were warmer. Tradition. A custom or way of doing things passed down through families or communities. Example. Eating together as a family on holidays is a tradition many people share. Protested. Spoke out against something you think is wrong. Example. People protested to save a beautiful old tree from being cut down. Loved the story and learned new words. Share it with your friends and subscribe for more stories to keep improving your English.